Modern HR promotes healthy employee engagement. That is a comment that I received recently from a viewer who watched a video that I uploaded just a few days ago, actually. The video was why workers over 50 should avoid HR. And I had a premise. The premise was avoid HR, and I gave some solid reasons based on some studies that were done, recent studies and some very recent data. And then I came up with a conclusion. Anyways, I produced this video. I got this comment from a viewer, and I thought I would respond on YouTube. And I normally don't do it publicly. Normally, when I decide we're going to respond to somebody, or when I respond to people, I always sit down at the computer and I write out a response, or let them know, or just give them my feedback. Anyways, let me just read some of what he wrote here, and I'm not going to give his name. I don't know if that's actually necessary, but I will put this up on the screen so you can at least see the comment. He says, all I got from this video, he's talking about the video that we uploaded. He says, all I got from this video and viewer comments, so at least he's acknowledging the viewer comments, and certainly they weren't positive. He says, all I got from this video and viewer comments is a profound misunderstanding of what modern HR does. It continues, he says, our video continues to support old stereotypes. Well, I don't know what stereotypes he's actually talking about, because what we did is we used the results of surveys that were done recently and we presented those results to our viewers in this video. So it wasn't reinforcing old stereotypes. These surveys were recent surveys. They weren't done 20 years ago or 50 years ago. They were done within the last few months, I believe. But anyways, he says here, worse, it makes it even more difficult to create a culture of continuous improvement based on two-way feedback. Well, when he talks about two-way feedback, let me just say this. There's usually one-way feedback when you walk into an HR department, just like when you're walking into your manager. Usually a good manager will listen and give you their feedback, but it's usually going to end up their way. With HR, it ends up, according to the survey data, it ends up quite often in favor of management, HR, or even the person's direct person to report to their direct manager. So when he says it hurts the two-way feedback, I don't see that at all. But he also says, and this is a sentence I just started out with, he says, modern HR promotes healthy employee engagement. And I just want to go back to it. I don't see it that way. The survey results don't see it that way. This gentleman, you gave us a response, and I respect your response and respect your opinion, of course. But all you have to do is look at the data. Sit down, look at the surveys. I put links to the information. You could easily see it. You can even go online and just Google in the surveys, and they'll pop up if you want to do it that way, if that's easier for you to do. I don't think it is, but the reality being that people, the huge percentage of people, 38% of people don't trust HR. It goes on and on. The survey really dives kind of deep into the feelings that people have towards this department. Now, granted, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. HR knows they've got a problem. HR knows it. They're not going to do anything about it because they're being paid by management. They're going to do what management tells them to do. How high to jump, how high not to jump. It may sound a little crude, I suppose, but you know what? It is what it is. Look at the survey results. Look at the data. We did a video with over 200,000 views. We did a video about HR prior to this last one a couple days ago. And it got well over, I believe it was like 1,500 or 1,600 comments. And virtually every single comment was negative, and virtually every single comment reinforced and the premise that we outlined here, which is basically, again, avoid HR. It's not going to do you any good to go there. Now, what I also said in this video, and I want to make sure I bring this particular point up because it's so important. What I also said in this video is the reason that you should avoid HR if you're over 50 is because of ageism. And because there is such a thing as ageism, which is well documented, people over 50 have more difficult time finding a new job. It takes them longer. So I'm saying avoid HR because you don't want to go there, complain, not have your problem resolved. Now you're under a microscope. Now you got to worry about, is my job secure? Or I got to worry about this place. You know what? If it's that bad, what I also said, there was three things I said in this last video, which is, if it's that bad, plan your exit. plan your strategy, get out of there. Learn a new high income skill. Take at night, every chance you get, go take courses, study, whatever you got to do. Learn a new high income skill or start a side hustle business. So there is a way for you to get out of that company. But in the meantime, if you do have a serious problem with HR or with your manager, why go if you know the odds are against you? And that was the premise. So listen, my friend, I appreciate your comment on this video. I really do. But you could have saved yourself, and you could have probably saved myself some time here just by looking at the raw data, the data that we included in the video. But I look at this and I think, yeah, I appreciate your comment, and I sincerely do appreciate every opinion. I look at it, I listen. I don't have to agree with it, and I don't agree with this. But that's about all I got to say for you folks, other than I'm going to ask you to go ahead and subscribe to Over 50 TV. You can do that by just hitting that little red button underneath your screen. But I want to say there's also a little bell. If you don't hit that little bell, it doesn't do you any good to subscribe, because what happens is you won't be notified every single time I upload a video. The only time you'll be notified is if you hit that little bell. Well, as I always say, have a great day, everybody.